So this was an example from a student I have taught in the past who chose to depict the gorilla for his choice of animal, and just showing you the 10 different types of images he chose from his collection that very much depict what kind of particular traits and aspects he would like to portray, not only in his research but also in his final logo. So here we see a series of images he has drawn by using pencil, charcoal, and depicting various different things that states that the gorilla possesses. So some are peaceful, some are aggressive, some are pretty subtle, some depict just like the kind of stillness of the eyes, and also just the beauty of the face, the detail of just how poetic some of those uh, parts of the anatomy could be. So just focusing on the eyes right here, different parts of the face, and just the different expressions gorillas have, focusing on the pose, the whole body as a whole, the resting phase of, of how they are in their natural habitat. So he definitely has a very good grasp of what this particular animal possesses in a particular state. So he has some that are aggressive, but some are pretty, and a lot of them are more on the calm and peaceful side. So Adam chose to go more on the peaceful side and more delicate look for his logo. So this was his sketch, and this was his final. It says, "A Great Ape and Wildlife Sanctuary." So he chose something that was a little bit more subtle, a lot more poetic rather than an aggressive approach, which are some of the good things that gorillas possess as well. So not only do we want to just look at what our animal has in terms of its typical qualities, but what are some hidden qualities that people don't know about our animal? In this particular case, when we take a look at gorillas in their natural wildlife, they tend to have a very peaceful, mellow aura about them. So this is what he wanted to portray in his logo, is just enjoying those animals in their natural habitat, um, peaceful, happy, and content. Um, let's go to another example. This particular student chose the crab. Those are his found objects. Then we get into, uh, found images off the internet. And then we get into more pencil studies of his crab. And then we go more into the digital realm, say Illustrator, doing more of the detailed work that some of those poses have, and the different kinds of shapes some crabs possess. Some Photoshop work here with color and gradients. We go to marker, um, some more marker, and then we start to experiment with the title. So tough shell identity. Here we're really focusing on the anatomy of the crab. In this case, he really wanted to focus on what part of the crab is very much so um, the protective element of that animal. So tough shell identity represents a security system that he wanted to portray just by focusing on the shell itself and the strength of what this particular animal possesses. It's not only the shell, but it's also like the attacking nature that this crab possesses. So also another good example. A third example, let's see, we will go to Garen. Garen chose to do the scorpion. And as you can see here are his sketches, pencil studies that he has done with the scorpion. So he really chose to focus on the stinger, some about the body, some are more along the lines of like the whole body with the stinger. And then he started to get into more logo studies, seeing how that focuses on his actual concept. So And here we can see some of the found imagery he has seen on the internet and what kind of elements that he likes to draw from. So here we're starting to see the beginning of a small study of the stinger, and perhaps maybe some naming conventions, a little bit more graphic studies. So he's gone through a series of naming conventions until he got to this one right here, which is Love Stings, Marriage Counseling. So he's focusing on particular element uh, that the scorpion possesses. So, but he's turning it into a humorous concept. So we can focus on the negative part of a scorpion, but we can also kind of play with humor and make another concept that ties into, in this case, marriage counseling. So also a good job, and a good pairing with fonts, something that is in line with the concept of love and the concept of marriage. So good combination of fonts there. So with that, I will go into another logo that goes into more in-depth detail about logos that are possessed by animals and why they exist.